Okay. Yo, yo, yo. Check, check. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know who it is. Your boy down Andre in the S-Time Productions. I want to kind of do a quick little tutorial and first impressions of a product that I just recently bought and that I find very important because of the fact of what is to come in the future with S-Time Productions. If you guys have not seen a video that I put out earlier today, I will be doing live sound gigs. It's going to be small live sound gigs. So I know there was a couple people that did some open mics out in Rochester that really got me inspired, that wanted me to go and just get some products to kind of help out the people in the area. I would love to kind of do some stuff with the open mic nights with them if people are interested, and hopefully we'll get to the point where I can start doing like bigger stuff like bands and things like that. And I want to talk about the product that I'm going to be using to kind of give you guys a quick rundown of what to expect from me and some of the work that I'm going to be doing. So what I have in front of me is my mixer. This, my friends, is the Behringer XR18. This little puppy, which is like so much smaller than any other mixer that you guys may have ever seen, but it's similar to some of the rack stuff that I have, like the X32 Rack. Pretty much is a rack-mounted mixer. A lot of people have rack-mounted mixers that are used for smaller gigs. This one's pretty great because it has a lot of great integration with other products that I can use with it that will help a lot of people along the way with trying to do more advanced stuff that are not just limited to just basic EQing and gain knobs. Like there is full compression that you would get out of this, full gates, parametric EQs, effects racks, anything that you see in the X32. Pretty much you get the same thing out of this in a smaller and similar form factor, but not the exact same. And I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a quick test of what are the differences that I've noticed when I just got this today. I want to kind of go through a quick rundown of some of the differences that I noticed with some of the editing software and some of the software that I've been trying, hardware stuff I've been trying to use with this to make sure that it integrates well. I've only had this for a couple hours today, but knowing the product that I'm trying to use it for, it really helps. So I'm going to try to show you in a simple small form factor of what I plan on using it for. Example, for a small, pretty much is going to be a headphone output for the front of house and mix for headphones for my keyboard playing at church. And I'm going to kind of go through a quick rundown of how I'm going to break this down. You probably won't see too much of this face as it's away, as the plug is away from here, and I got to go through setup and all that other stuff, and you guys are going to see a lot of stuff from the screen. So first things first, let me go get this thing plugged in real quick. Now, mind you, I have, so if you actually did see the front of this, hopefully it doesn't move. You guys see the front of this. That is 16 combo jacks with 2 high-Z inputs. Now, in my video, I mentioned that there was going to be at least three DIs. 2 of them are going to be the high-Zs that come out of these 2 inputs here on channels 1 and 2, and the third is going to be a separate one. Again, the one thing I didn't reiterate in the video was I will not have subs necessarily yet. I'm going to plan on running on 15-inch full range speakers coming soon. Till then, I got a couple 10 or 12 inch ones that I got that I'm borrowing for a little while until then. But I will have like a full range 15-inch set of PAs I'm going to be using to try to do some of my setup. So hopefully you guys will like that. Hopefully that's something that you guys will maybe will help a lot more people with just trying to get some more bass out. I know it's hard, and those things are pretty hefty and they're pretty big, and I'm trying to get something that will fit in my car, and more importantly. So you will get at least 3 sets of DIs. So if you had a guitar and a bass and a keys that needed all 3 of those inputs, will be provided for them. Now, mind you, all 16 of these jacks are going to have all 6 of these inputs are all quarter-inch inputs and XLR. So there are combo jacks, which is great. So I'm able to kind of use whatever inputs that's available. So if you guys have like an older, cheaper mic that have like TRS cables or things like that, we could plug that directly in there, no problem. So that's the good benefit of having this product. The other good thing of having this product, which I'm going to explain a little bit more, is right here. You notice I have it comes with its own built-in wireless access point. Now, mind you, from what the reviews have told me, you get full in-front range of about 50 feet with this before you start losing connection in and out. So obviously the best source, if you really need routing connection, is going to be strong. It's going to last you all the way to the back, which some cases I may have to. I may switch this over to the client. You do get access to a remote Ethernet, so maybe getting a wireless router that can bring out a little bit more range will help you. So definitely look into that. Obviously, you get MIDI in and output, your USB, which will integrate with updating firmware, as well as being your audio interface. So your audio interface, this can run as an audio interface. You can run this either in 2 different modes, either in the direct modes here from all the channels, or you can run this in USB mode, which takes the channels from your DAW or your computer and tries to reroute them in one of these channels, and they can play them back and through the master, which is great. So I think this is just a good, like I said, I think this is a great product. And I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of a quick setup of how I'm trying to go through the process of using it as a headphone amp for my church, and how we're kind of going through the configuration with that. All right, so I'm going to set this down. Right now I have Wi-Fi set up. This can be used with a tablet. This has tablet integration, computer integration, as well as setup configuration with the Behringer X Touch. So for an example, I can also use, I can also use one of these, which is a Wi-Fi bridge, Wi-Fi repeater. This allows me to plug this in wirelessly, and depending on the range of my Wi-Fi, I can have this in a different location to kind of make it run like it's its own Wi-Fi. So you'll have that integration. And if I need to do any type of precision, I can also use any of the stuff on my mixer using the either the XR software or the mixing station software, which in my opinion, my personal opinion, I enjoy using the mixing station software a lot more than I do the XR software. I just think there's just more, there's less limitations with it. I think the layout a little bit better. It's more customizable than some of the other ones. So all I got to do is go to the Wi-Fi setup. I can just look for my XR18, which will come with a default IP address and such. Once you use that one, you can change it to whatever IP address that you want. They say to be very careful and try to do that on the pawn the first time. That way you're not trying to do it more than once. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the mixing station. I'm going to tell the thing to search for it. It's going to find it, and it's going to sync with it. All right. You see it how it's running here. So let me show you what it's going to look like in the computer, which I will, let's see. Nope. Way too big. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to show you on here what it would look like if we did it on this. So here we go. So here is the XR edit. Again, it's probably going to look for it. So for me, so actually let me go and backtrack real quick. Second camera. So for me to kind of do this, I'm kind of doubling up here. It's going to be a little bit strange, and hopefully I don't get disconnected in the process. But I'm going to do connect. It's going to connect to the mixer. Let me make sure I'm still good. All right, I'm still running. Good thing I'm running this via Ethernet. Otherwise, this would have been a travesty, and you guys probably wouldn't have saw that process. People got some leftover fireworks in the back. So let's look at the mix station here. Excuse me, the XR edit, which is similar to the M32 edit, the X32 edit, and how we can kind of go about using it this way. All right, so this is the way I have it. This is very basic. This is anything complex that I'm using with this setup. So what you're going to see first is number one, I have keys. So what pretty much I'm pretty much a three-person band. There's an organist, there's me on keys, and then there's a drummer. Drummer kind of needs to hear most of the hear back from what I'm trying to play. I'm doing a lot of stuff with backing tracks. I'm doing a lot of stuff with key changes and whatnot. So he's got to find a way to kind of hear me and hear me clearly. So the way I'm going to go ahead and do this is, number one, there's a headphone jack that's on the XR18. That is stereo, thank God. So you will have stereo on there. The way I'm going to do this is if I go to setup, and if I go to the monitor, and I can see monitor source, I'm going to put that as bus 2. And I'll explain that in a minute. So the way I'm going to try to have this set up, there's a front of house mixer that's a lot less complex and very simplistic upstairs that I really have, that I really much are very limited to what type of access I can get over there out of respect of the people that are upstairs. So I got to find a way to kind of hear myself as best as I can. And one of the problems I was having is if I wanted to test something or play something in the background while everybody else was trying to get stuff configured, the hard part about it was I wasn't able to pretty much what's the best way to describe this? I was not able to play anything that I needed unless it went out the front of house. I don't have anything other than my headphones, and my headphones is hooked up. It still comes out in the front of house, so I can play this at full volume at any given point in time, play what I need to play, and it won't compromise me. All right. So first thing I got to look at here is I have my keys in channel 1. I have a top bat mic in channel 2. And what you'll see in channel 3 and 4 is a DAW. So what you'll notice is I have this on input control. So what it's going to do is going to take the take the inputs from the USB, and it's going to go into these channels. And actually, if you see behind me, anything that I move in here is going to move in this DAW. There's a lot of fireworks they're trying to burn off. There's a lot of stuff in the DAW. There's a lot of it moves in there, it moves in here, and it also moves it moves on the tablet. I know you guys can't see it. It moves on the screen, as you can see in front of me. So anything I'm moving on the screen, you can see in the front of there. And if I had it integrated onto this X-Touch, I'll have the same exact setup. Actually, matter of fact, I wonder if I can do that real quick. MIDI. Nah, because it's different. If I had it plugged in, it'll be different. So I have this connected to my software right now, so it's running its own little assignment that's separate from what I'm doing. So it's only 4 channels. So the way that I have this set up is main, left, and right it's going to be served as my my output pretty much to the mixer. So the master out goes to the keyboards. So the keyboard feed is pretty much the way it's going to be is the keyboard input, or excuse me, the keyboard's output is going to get put into channel 1 of the XR18. The output of that is going to go in. The output of that is going to go into the main XLR spare that's connected to a DI, but it's going to go directly into the XLR there that's going to serve as the master. Okay, so that gives them the full control of what's going to be played. So the good thing is I can say I want to turn my keys down, but I want to hear everything I'm playing in the back. I have that capability now because the way I'm going to do this is channels. So this is all going to be sent out through the master, but it's also going to get sent out to a send, which is going to count as my headphones. So the way I have to do this is I'm going to go to bus 2. So bus 2 is going to be considered as headphones. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. It might be blocked off because of the sign that's on there. So bear with me. So actually, let me slide this over. Maybe you can see it a little bit. So you can see where headphones is there. All right. So there's headphones. The next thing I have to go ahead and do is pretty much have the send sent out. As you can see, I can select it here and then put all the faders up into the desired levels that I need it to be. Pretty simple, right? As soon as I get it up to a certain amount of levels, I should be good to go. I can adjust them as much as I need to fit to my liking and what I need. And the great part about it is, as long as my drummer has his phone, I can set up another bus input for them. So pretty much they have their own control. I can set it up to where, like I said, bus 2 was in the headphone section. I can have that in bus 3. He can have his as bus 2, and he can go ahead and level it any way that he needs to, right from just using his phone, a phone connection for free. And it won't cost him anything, and we won't have to worry about this person's louder than the other. I don't really need it this loud, but he needs more of me in certain sections. I just need just to hear me a little bit with my in-ears, and that's fine. And I still have the same thing with the DAW. So the secret in trying to get all these to work correctly is I have to go to the channel itself, go to input, go to sends, and then I have to configure this to, all right, here's channel 2, put in my desired channel. Uh-oh, lights went out. Alexa, white light. That's a good battery, by the way. That helped me out very much this week. Wow, that thing just. Yep, it's done. Where art thou? All right, I guess we're going to be going a little bit in the dark ages for the remainder of this video. Cool. Anyway, back to the video at hand. Bus 2 is now going to be my fader. Check over here. Pre-fader. This is going to be the secret that's going to allow me to get everybody the right levels that they need for their own setup. And I can add effects to it if I need to with pre and post fader on it. And everybody will pretty much be happy for what they need. front of house gets their levels. I don't have to worry about things dropping. And as far as sound goes, and pretty much everybody gets what they want. So, by the way, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to leave them in the chats. The next thing I need to talk about here, I guess, is how am I doing configuration from there to route it over? This is a little bit complex. We've been messing with this for the last month and a half since I've joined this congregation, and how we're gonna get this set up. So pretty much the simplest way that I knew that I can get this done is the following. I will send out first of all, I'll send the headphones over to me. I have my own headphone extension cord that I can plug into my own self. For him, he has his own little mini headphone amp. I'm going to send out an XLR out from one of the auxes. You have one of 6 auxes plus the 2 masters. The master, again, is going to go into the front of house. That aux is going to go into an XLR that's going to be ended at a TRS. That's going to get plugged into his input. He gets to plug the input, the 1/4 inch, into his headphone amp, and then one of the outputs of that headphone amp goes directly to his ears, and pretty much everybody's happy. That's the great benefit of doing this, is because of the fact, geez, it got really, really dark in here. Because of the fact that helps him, that helps me kind of go through the setup and what I need to do with configuring pretty much all that I needed for just getting headphone amps. So this is, like I said, this is just the basics that I'm using as a headphone amp for this case. But if I'm doing this on a live gig, I can use this at any point in time with a regular live gig, whether that's plugging in 2 guitars or drums, 3 vocals. I'll still have that capability. Now, mind you, I have a total of 6 channels here, so that gives me a max total of, say I did 4 vocals. Let's say I do 3 vocals, 2 guitars, a bass, and then drums will leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 channels. So I still will have enough to do 2 overheads, 1 top snare, kick, tom. That's 7 channels right there. 3 vocals, 2 guitars, 1 bass, and 1 set of keyboards. Stereo, if you want to go stereo. And then I still will have 1 extra channel left. So that's pretty much just the basis of just having something that's as portable as this. Now, if I really want to go into more in depth, I would definitely start using stuff like my X32 Rack, where I can use 32 full channels and have more than I need. But for smaller cases, like small gigs like this, they're not that much necessary. You don't really need it. So use what you have and use the capabilities that you can with it. You don't really need all those channels. And the best part about this that I did talk about you about earlier is this can run as an audio interface. All 16 channels can run as an audio interface. I can send all this stuff out and record it onto a DAW. It will record it as raw, and you'll still have the channels being presentable, so you can play them back and record it, and then you have your own personal recording of all your stuff. So there's benefits to having this. I think it's a great form factor for the price. It's very inexpensive compared to any other software. They're much more inexpensive than having this X32 rack. Obviously, the 32 rack has a lot more integration because you can plug in, 16 more channels and whatnot and use AES-50. This is your limit. You only have the 16 combo jacks, the 6 auxes, and the master left-right. It is what it is at that point. And that's okay. Nobody really needs all the other integration for that anyway other than that. So that's pretty much the capabilities that you have with this. Again, I still have connectivity with the tablet. I can use the tablet very effectively in all the stuff that I'm trying to use it for. Whether that's me just trying to run it at the keyboard or me trying to be at the front of house and control everything, I'll still have it here. So, again, I think it's a great product. I think for people who are just starting up in the business of just trying to do small gigs, they really want to get into live sound engineering, I would suggest trying to buy this product. I think you will like this product. You should definitely look into it. I've loved majority of Behringer's products. That's why I trusted that, knowing that this had the same integration as the X32 and M32 series. I wanted to pretty much just put it to work. So this has this great capability. You guys should go out and get it if you guys are into it. And that's pretty much it. Again, sorry for the weird lighting right now, which is very awkward, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you always can find me at where solo.to/STime Productions. Y'all know what it is. You know we're Darnell during the STime Productions. Speak everything into existence. Invest, involve, evolve. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.